I always got a segment that I do like animal facts, right?
Uh-oh.
It's not, right or wrong.
Uh-huh.
It's just true or false, right? I don't.
Okay.
So let's go to the first one, right? True or false? An octopus has like 9 brains.
Oh, that's definitely true.
It's true. Why do you say that?
If he has that many tentacles, that many, I feel like you're trying to trick me. So it's got to be true. He's got 9 brains for sure.
So yeah, it is true. It is true. You got that. You got that right. He
Yeah.
actually has a main brain, like main one, and then he has one for each tentacle.
Yeah.
One brain for each tentacle. So, like, it has like
See,
9 basically.
I mean, we
So
probably
you
don't.
no, you was there. Do you know the fact, or you just?
No, I really didn't.
Okay. You just thought about it. Okay.
But that was way too tricky. I'm like, there's no way he's just made up the number 9.
Yeah.
It's got to be a real thing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's go another one. Is it true or false that an elephant tooth weighs 5 pounds? Ah.
No, I don't think elephant even have teeth. I just got a trunk. I got a trunk and then, no, 5 pounds, that's ridiculous. No way.
It's false?
Totally false.
But why you said false?
Because I don't even think they have teeth.
It is false, but
They have tusks.
yeah, it is false. But they do have teeth, and they actually weigh 12 pounds.
12 pounds is one,
Yes.
one tooth?
Yes.
I might need to fact check
But it's okay.
that.
But you won it because you said false. So win is a win. Win is a win.
All
So
right.
let's keep it going. Keep it going.
I'll take your word for it.
If you win is a win. I'm telling you. They can fast check it. Online internet. Comment fast. Let's fast check this. True or false? That flamingos have to eat with their heads upside down.
I think that's true, and I think they're pink because of the shrimp that they eat. Is that true? I made that up. I got kids. I think I know stuff like this. I think they do.
It has to be. It is true.
Yes.
But
And their color comes from the shrimp that they eat.
really, I didn't know that.
No.
Oh my God!
Again,
We got to bring it back
help
to the
us
show.
fact check that.
That's true. It is true.
All right, we have confirmation.
Yes.
I like that.
It is true. Oh my God, killing it. This year the most back to back to back. I've had this like twice. It's been like crazy. Tony, we got to do a better job, bro. We gotta switch it up from true and false to fun facts. Like we got to do that and see if they knew about it. We got to switch it up because I keep losing every time we play. So
12
okay.
pounds? An
12
elephant
pounds,
tooth is 12. That's pretty wild.
So fun. Do you like zoos? Have you been to a zoo?
I've been to all the zoos. I got traded 5 times. My kids love the zoos. We've been to all of them.
All of them, man.
All of them.
You got traded 5 times. What was the first time you got traded?
I got traded from Houston. I played for Houston. Got drafted there. Played there 2 years, and then I got traded to the Los Angeles Clippers.
Ooh, how'd you feel the first trade?
I was sort of like devastated because I feel like,
Devastated.
well, because I think
I'm with you.
people
I'm
go
following.
like, oh, it's a business. You're going to get traded.
No, guys. You learn it's a business.
You learn it's a business.
You don't know when you first come in, even if they keep telling you.
Yeah, and you learn what that means. You learn what it means. It's a business, and you also realize like, okay, I understand, I accept that, but then people go like, but you shouldn't have been all devastated. Like you knew you could get traded. Okay, I have a question for you then. Do you mean I shouldn't have had real relationships and I shouldn't have cared about the city I was living in and I shouldn't have vested and acted like I was going to be here? You're like, no, because it's both. It's not one or the other. It was both. It's a business, and I cared about the people in the place I was in. So you're like, and so it's difficult, and I knew it was a business. So it was hard, but
Did they tell you? How'd you find out?
that one was my agent calling me saying, and that was sort of like, that was 2008. So it was before, it was like everybody's on Twitter finding out first before all the stuff breaks. So he called me and kind of told me that was what the deal was. But then other times when I got traded, like when I was in Utah, we had All-Star break. We came back. We had our first practice after All-Star break, right at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And they texted everybody, hey, hold on, we're going to bump practice back a couple hours.
Oh,
And you were like,
you know what that means.
uh-oh, something's cooking. We had practice. You're like, Ennis Cantor was sitting out. He wasn't even in practice. You're like, so that's what they're cooking. All right, we got done with practice. We get finished. I go out in the players' parking lot. I won't name any names, but the assistant GM is out there. I said, he was just casually, I said, hey, am I getting traded? They said, no, you good. He said, I would tell, if there was some stern, I would kind of, but I said, all right, cool. I went home and I started playing with the kids. I was doing Legos on the floor. And my boy texted me, hey, congrats on the new team. I said, uh-oh. So I put my name in Twitter, like, and it was a 3-team trade, and I couldn't figure out which team I was going to. I was like, I'm going to the Jazz, I'm going to the Thunder, I'm going to the Pistons. Where am I going? So then you just wait for time, you keep refreshing, trying to figure out what's happening. And then it was just crazy because at that point, once it was like everybody knew before your agent or the team could call you because they got to put it through the NBA and they got to make sure everything is like okay to put out. So you find out in advance. When I got traded from the Knicks to the Toronto Raptors, it was in the summer. I played 2 years with the Knicks. I'm like, man, I found a home. I'm staying here. I was in Milwaukee taking a nice nap in the summer. I woke up, my phone was like, bzz, bzz, bzz. I had 100. My wifey woke me up. She said, I said, I honestly, God, didn't say anything to her. I said, I'm going to go for a run. I went for a run and just kind of had a moment to myself where I was just kind of like thinking about like, that was fun in New York. I came back. She was on the porch crying with her phone. It's the GM here. I said, oh, they said, oh yeah, you know, we traded you for Andrea Bargnani and blah, 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 blah. I said, and it was like, all right, off we go. Like you just switch it up. So the in-season trades were brutal because you just pack OKC was like, Utah was like, the plane's coming, they'll take you to OKC at 7:30 in the morning, you and Ennis. But in the summer, at least you had a little time to go get some things done. But that's
you got time to adjust and get your house and this and that and get situated. But in season is like hotel.
Yeah.
Or like whatever. Hotel for
45
like,
days. You can have 45 days, right?
45 to like 2 months. If you go towards the playoffs, you're like, oh.
Right.
I'm not going to get a place. I'll do 2 months.
Yeah.
And depending on what kind of contract you have. If you got a contract for 3 years, you're going to get a house. If you don't, well, get out. Duke it out.
Rent at best.
Yeah, just duke it out. NBA bid to like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, my God. That's a brutal part of the business as well.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. First of all, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Like, you've been amazing. You've dissected shooting for us. You've done all these things. And not only shooting, but the way NBA works and your journey and everything. But, you know, before we leave, I want to, before we, finish the podcast, I want to leave the audience and the people who are listening with, what is something that motivates you? What is something that keeps you disciplined? What's something that you say, like, it could be a quote or a story or something like that. And that's one part of it. And the second thing I want to leave with them is that, what is something crazy? What's been the most crazy year for you? I mean, obviously, I know the trades after that. And, it could be either locker room stuff or what is something that you didn't know what's going on, but then you had to like recenter yourself and keep it going.
Yeah, I think, those are great questions. I think like for me, to be honest, I think like early in my life, like there was a quote that I lived by that it was actually sent to me by one of the colleges that recruited me. And I remember they would send you all these letters and it was like, you get all these quotes and all these letters and they're motivational things and stuff like that. And I just always remembered like putting a little quote up on my like bedside table that was basically just, it was simple, but it did something to me. That was, dreams don't work unless you do. And it seems like, okay, that's not that deep. But to me, it was just like an everyday reminder that like, if you have dreams, like don't ever lie to yourself on a daily basis that if you aren't working towards them,
that they're going to come,
that they're going to happen. And so it was just like it was just a real simple reminder, like dreams don't come true unless you're working towards them. And so like I just left that sit on the bedside table and I felt like every day it was just a reminder, like don't you sore, or you're tired or you're whatever. And I think stuff like that, that's just an easy daily reminder to make you realize, like, do you really want to accomplish that? Like, is that your dream?
Do you really want it? Yeah.
Yeah. Dreams don't work unless you do. And it was like, that just meant to me, wake up. All right, when are you working today? And so, and then for me, like one experience that happened in my career that was like in a very short period of time, empowering but scary, was I was in the G League. Was it the D League at the time?
D League at the time, yeah.
It would have been the D League at the time. Because I got released from the Dallas Mavericks. I was off for a month. Nobody signed me. And I'm thinking, I'm in my 5th season thinking, I can't believe nobody's signing me. No one thinks I'm good enough or no one has a roster spot for me. I go play with the Reno Bighorns for 2 games. Squad was unbelievable. I had Jay Lynn, Danny Green, Patrick
Yeah.
O'Brien. I was like, man, we were about to ball out. Played 2 games, played well. San Antonio called me up, said, all right, we're going to sign you, whatever. I was with the team for the rest of the season. That following year was my best year. And so for me, in a very short span, I went from being cut, not being signed by anybody and everyone had time and opportunity, to playing in the G League, to signing a 4-year contract at the end of my next year with the New York Knicks. It just made me realize, like, you can be told by the experts within a very short period of time that you're not good enough, and then within a year, there be like a bidding war and be millions of dollars for you, all within like a year span of time, you know? And so it just, to me,
In less than 12 months, basically. That's crazy.
yes, it was, and it was cool to also see, I mentioned like Jeremy Lin was on the team with the Reno Bighorns when I was 2. And he was on that New York Knicks team with me that year. And so we both kind of would remind each other, like, you remember just a few months ago, we were in the G League, D League. Nobody wanted us. And Jeremy he did Linsanity a few months after being told, like, we don't even know if you got a spot in the league. So that was something we kind of always, you know, like we cherished. And I just think it's a great message too for
Great message.
anybody, but for kids who are working or being told, like, you aren't fast enough, you aren't smart enough, you ain't. You're like, well, even at the highest levels, like, they're telling them, like, they're not good enough. And